Kidney cleanse? 3 nuts seniors must eat and 3 you should never touch. Back in 2015, a healthy 49-year-old man ended up with acute kidney failure after eating way too many almonds. We're talking about over 150 grams every single day. That's like eating an entire bag daily because he thought he was being healthy. This guy's body was missing some helpful gut bacteria that normally help break down compounds called oxalates. Without these microscopic helpers, those heart-healthy almonds were quietly building up crystal deposits in his kidneys. Now, before you panic, note that this isn't about avoiding all nuts like almonds forever. It's about understanding that not all nuts are created equal when it comes to your kidneys. While this man's almonds were causing problems, there are other nuts that could have been naturally cleansing and protecting his kidneys instead. Today, we're sorting through all the confusion. We'll show you exactly which 3 nuts can work like kidney cleansers and bodyguards for your kidneys, and which 3 might be working against you. Because the difference between these 2 groups could determine whether you age gracefully or spend your golden years tethered to a dialysis machine. Before we dive into our kidney heroes and villains, here's a question for you. What's the one nut you keep in your kitchen and reach for most often? The one you consider your go-to healthy snack? Tell us in the comments below, but hurry. We're only responding to comments in the first 24 hours after upload. Every single one gets a personal reply. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. The 3 kidney villains. There are 3 types of nuts that create real risks for your kidneys, and chances are at least one of them is in your pantry. 3. Almonds. Remember the healthy 49-year-old man from our opening story? His kidney failure wasn't from some exotic toxin or rare genetic disorder. It came from almonds, America's favorite health nut that millions of people consume daily, believing they're protecting their hearts. While almonds might benefit those with healthy kidneys, they represent one of the most dangerous foods possible for people with kidney concerns or those prone to kidney stones. The primary weapon here is almonds' astronomical oxalate content. 1 ounce of almonds contains over 122 milligrams of oxalates, which is more than 3 times the daily limit recommended for people at high risk of kidney stones. To put this in perspective, kidney specialists typically suggest limiting total daily oxalate intake to 40 to 50 milligrams for stone-prone people. Oxalates bind with calcium in your kidneys, forming sharp, needle-like crystals that can cause excruciating pain when they form stones. Even worse, these crystals can deposit directly into kidney tissue itself, causing a condition called oxalate nephropathy that can lead to permanent kidney damage and the kind of acute kidney failure that the 49-year-old man experienced. The mineral profile adds another layer of concern for people with kidney disease. Almonds pack 200 milligrams of potassium, 137 milligrams of phosphorus, and 6 grams of protein per quarter cup serving. While the potassium level is borderline manageable for people with kidney concerns, the phosphorus content moves almonds into the danger zone for anyone with declining kidney function. Case studies and medical literature document the real-world consequences of almond overconsumption. What makes almonds particularly insidious is how they're marketed and consumed. The almond industry has spent millions promoting almonds as heart-healthy and beneficial for cholesterol management. While this might be true for people with healthy kidneys, this marketing creates a health halo effect that can be dangerously misleading for the 37 million Americans living with chronic kidney disease. These people are often specifically advised to choose nuts over processed snacks, and almonds are frequently suggested as a good option. The processing and preparation methods don't significantly reduce the oxalate danger. Soaking almonds overnight might leach out tiny amounts of some minerals, but the oxalate content distributed throughout the nut meat remains high. Even almond butter retains the full oxalate load of the original almonds. For people who love the taste and texture of almonds but need safer alternatives, sunflower seeds provide similar vitamin E benefits with dramatically lower oxalate content. Hazelnuts offer comparable healthy fats and nutrients without the extreme oxalate load. For baking applications, sunflower seed flour can often replace almond flour in recipes, providing a similar texture. Remember, when it comes to kidney health, almonds are simply not worth the risk. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 2. Pine nuts. Pine nuts represent one of the most deceptive kidney risks because they're often promoted as part of the healthy Mediterranean diet. While the Mediterranean diet has many benefits, it wasn't designed for people with kidney disease. Here's the alarming mineral profile: 190 to 200 milligrams phosphorus per ounce. Add 170 milligrams potassium and 4.6 grams of protein, and pine nuts become a concentrated dose of everything kidney patients need to limit. When phosphorus builds up in your blood, it doesn't just sit there harmlessly. It pulls calcium straight out of your bones, making them brittle as old chalk. Meanwhile, that displaced calcium hardens in your blood vessels and heart valves like concrete in pipes. This double damage of weak bones plus calcified arteries is why phosphorus control is so critical for kidney patients. At $15 to $20 per pound, pine nuts create a dangerous assumption that expensive equals healthy. For kidney patients monitoring creatinine levels, this premium price tag is buying premium kidney stress. Pine nuts are tiny, making it easy to underestimate portions. What looks like a sprinkle on your salad might actually be a full serving or more. Their buttery, rich flavor encourages liberal use in cooking, leading to phosphorus overload without realizing it. And be aware that pine nuts appear in unexpected places: pesto sauce, salad dressings, grain pilafs, and gourmet nut mixes. A single tablespoon of traditional pesto contains roughly 2 to 3 tablespoons worth of pine nuts, concentrated into sauce form. Beyond Mediterranean cuisine, pine nuts lurk in Korean bibimbap, Mexican mole sauces, and Middle Eastern rice dishes. Some healthy protein bars and trail mixes also feature pine nuts as premium ingredients. Always check ingredient lists on Mediterranean or Middle Eastern prepared foods. More importantly, many restaurants use pine nuts generously in salads, pasta dishes, and vegetable preparations without listing them prominently on menus. Always ask about pine nuts when dining out if you have kidney concerns. Unlike some nuts where soaking or processing might help, nothing reduces pine nuts' phosphorus load. Raw, roasted, or ground into paste, they remain kidney stressors regardless of preparation method. There are tasty swaps that are easier on your kidneys. In pesto, substitute sunflower seeds or a small amount of hazelnuts. For salad crunch, try toasted sunflower seeds or chopped pecans. In grain dishes, chopped walnuts provide similar richness with better kidney safety. 1. Cashews. Cashews, these kidney-shaped nuts, ironically enough, can pose significant threats to the very organs they resemble. The first risk comes from their oxalate content, which runs approximately 47 milligrams per ounce. This places cashews firmly in the high oxalate category that kidney stone prevention diets warn against. While not quite reaching the astronomical levels found in almonds, this oxalate load is still significant enough to contribute to stone formation in susceptible people. The second risk involves their mineral profile, which creates problems for those with chronic kidney disease who need to monitor phosphorus and potassium intake. Cashews contain approximately 150 milligrams of phosphorus and 180 milligrams of potassium per 1 ounce. The medical literature also contains case studies of people developing kidney problems from eating too much cashew. What makes cashews a problem is their role in the growing plant-based food movement. People with kidney disease are increasingly advised to include more plant-based proteins in their diet to reduce the metabolic burden on their kidneys. Updated KDIGO 2024 guidelines now recommend plant-forward dietary patterns for CKD patients, recognizing that plant proteins create less metabolic waste than animal proteins. While the goal of eating more plant proteins is generally sound for kidney health, cashews represent one of the more problematic choices in this category due to their oxalate content and mineral profile. As more people seek alternatives to dairy and meat, cashews have become the foundation for countless vegan recipes. Cashew cream, cashew cheese, cashew milk, and cashew-based desserts concentrate the problematic compounds while often being marketed as healthy alternatives. A single serving of cashew-based cheese alternative might contain the equivalent of several ounces of whole cashews, dramatically multiplying the oxalate and mineral load. The creamy, rich texture that makes cashews so appealing for cooking also makes them easy to overconsume. Unlike harder nuts that require significant chewing and provide natural satiety signals, cashews can be eaten quickly and in large quantities. Commercial cashew products often compound the kidney risks by adding phosphorus-containing preservatives and sodium for flavor enhancement. Many cashew-based dairy alternatives contain carrageenan, phosphorus-containing emulsifiers, and other additives that increase the mineral load beyond what you'd get from plain cashews. Safer alternatives include sunflower seed butter for similar texture and recipes, and hemp hearts for similar healthy fat content. For people making plant-based dairy alternatives, coconut cream provides richness without the mineral complications, though it should be used in moderation due to its saturated fat content. Before you swear off nuts forever, here's the plot twist. For every nut that can harm your kidneys, there's another one that can protect them. And the science behind these kidney heroes is actually pretty amazing. The 3 heroes to cleanse your kidneys. 3. Walnuts. Walnuts aren't just brain food, though they certainly earn that reputation with their wrinkled, brain-like appearance. They're the only tree nut that delivers a significant dose of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, making them work like natural cleansing agents for your cardiovascular system. In fact, cardiovascular disease kills more people with chronic kidney disease than kidney failure itself. Your heart and kidneys are intimately connected through a vast network of blood vessels, and when one struggles, the other suffers. The omega-3s in walnuts work like internal firefighters, constantly cleansing away the small inflammatory fires that damage both heart and kidney blood vessels over time. In controlled studies, people who regularly consumed walnuts showed significantly lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of dangerous inflammation that drives kidney disease progression. Plus, from a kidney safety standpoint, walnuts occupy the sweet spot that makes them suitable for most people with kidney concerns. 1 ounce, about 28 grams, contains approximately 125 milligrams of potassium and 98 milligrams of phosphorus, along with 4.3 grams of protein. These numbers fall comfortably within the safe zone, even for people dealing with kidney disease. Here's something crucial that often gets overlooked. English walnuts and black walnuts are not the same when it comes to kidney health. Black walnuts contain significantly more phosphorus and protein, moving them into the caution category for people with kidney concerns. When we recommend walnuts for kidney cleansing, we're specifically talking about the common English walnuts you find in most grocery stores. The optimal way to include these kidney guardians in your routine is simple. 7 to 10 walnut halves, roughly 1 ounce, consumed 3 to 5 times per week, provides the omega-3 benefits without overwhelming your system with minerals. Having walnuts with meals that contain other healthy fats improves omega-3 absorption, making each walnut work harder for your kidney health. If you find plain walnuts too bland or slightly bitter, try lightly toasting them in a dry pan for 2 to 3 minutes. This brings out their natural nuttiness without adding oils or salt that could work against your kidney health. Avoid the temptation to buy honey-roasted or salt-crusted varieties, which transform these kidney cleansers into kidney stressors. Storage matters more with walnuts than most other nuts because their high omega-3 content makes them vulnerable to rancidity. Keep them in airtight containers in your refrigerator where they'll maintain their nutritional value and kidney protective properties for up to 6 months. If they develop a bitter taste or paint-like smell, discard them immediately. rancid walnuts not only lose their benefits, but can actually increase inflammation in your body. For people who have trouble chewing nuts or worry about choking hazards, try soaking walnuts overnight and blending them into a milk alternative, yet not almond milk. This provides the same kidney protective compounds in a form that's easier to digest and naturally lower in concentrated minerals than eating whole nuts. 2. Macadamia nuts. Here are the numbers that make macadamias special. 1 ounce contains just 104 milligrams of potassium and 53 milligrams of phosphorus. To put this in perspective, that's less than half the potassium found in many other popular nuts and roughly 1/3 the phosphorus. For people whose kidneys struggle to eliminate excess minerals, this dramatically lower load allows for gentle kidney cleansing without dangerous spikes in blood levels. The protein content is equally kidney-friendly at just 2.2 grams per ounce. This might seem like a disadvantage if you're thinking about protein needs, but for kidneys working overtime to filter waste products, less protein means less metabolic burden, while still supporting natural cleansing processes. Every gram of protein your body processes creates waste products that your kidneys must filter and eliminate. When kidney function is compromised, reducing this workload while still getting essential nutrients becomes a delicate balancing act that macadamias handle perfectly. But macadamias don't earn their reputation solely by avoiding problems. They actively contribute to kidney health through their monounsaturated fat profile, similar to what makes olive oil so beneficial for cardiovascular health. These healthy fats work like a lubricant for your entire circulatory system, reducing inflammation and protecting the tiny blood vessels that feed your kidneys. Research on oleic acid, the primary fat in macadamias, shows it can reduce inflammation at the cellular level. This matters enormously because chronic inflammation is the silent destroyer of kidney function, slowly damaging the filtering units until they can no longer do their natural cleansing job. Every macadamia you eat delivers a dose of anti-inflammatory protection that works around the clock to preserve kidney function. The calorie density of macadamias sometimes concerns people, but this worry often misses the bigger picture. Yes, 1 ounce contains about 200 calories, but the combination of healthy fats and protein creates lasting satiety that actually helps most people eat less throughout the day. It's better to have 200 satisfying calories from macadamias than 300 unsatisfying calories from processed snacks that provide no kidney protection. Enjoy macadamia as an afternoon snack about 2 to 3 hours after lunch. Helps stabilize blood sugar while providing sustained energy. This timing also supports optimal nutrient absorption since your body processes fats most efficiently when other digestive processes aren't competing for resources. Like walnuts, macadamia's high oil content makes them prone to rancidity. Look for nuts that are plump and uniform in color, with a sweet, buttery smell when fresh. Avoid any that smell paint-like or taste bitter, as these have gone rancid and lost their beneficial properties. For people with tree nut allergies who can't enjoy macadamias directly, sunflower seeds provide a similar mineral profile with even lower potassium and phosphorus levels. While not technically nuts, they offer comparable healthy fats and can serve as a substitute in most recipes that call for chopped macadamias. 1. Hazelnuts. Hazelnuts might be the most underappreciated kidney-friendly nut in America. While Europe has been celebrating their nutritional power for centuries, many Americans overlook these small, round powerhouses that pack more vitamin E per serving than almost any other nuts. Just 1 ounce provides about 20% of your daily vitamin E needs. This isn't just any antioxidant. Vitamin E specifically cleanses cell membranes from oxidative damage, including the delicate membranes of kidney cells. Your kidney cells face constant assault from free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cell membranes and interfere with normal kidney function. The vitamin E in hazelnuts embeds directly into cell membranes, creating a protective barrier that cleanses these destructive molecules before they can cause permanent damage. What makes hazelnuts particularly interesting for kidney health is their content of gamma-tocopherol, a specific form of vitamin E that's especially protective against inflammation in the urinary tract. Now, the mineral profile puts hazelnuts in the kidney-safe category. 193 milligrams potassium and 82 milligrams phosphorus per 1 ounce, with 4.2 grams protein. While the potassium is slightly higher than macadamias, it's still well below the 200 milligrams caution threshold for most kidney patients. Hazelnuts offer practical advantages that make them appealing for seniors managing kidney health. Their softer texture when roasted makes them easier to chew than harder nuts like almonds. For people with dental concerns or swallowing difficulties, hazelnuts can be lightly chopped or ground without losing their beneficial properties. Try adding chopped hazelnuts to green beans for a classic combination that provides both flavor and nutrition. They work beautifully as a coating for fish or chicken, providing crunch and healthy fats without the sodium and phosphorus additives found in commercial breadings. Or else, enjoy about 12 hazelnuts or 1 ounce as a mid-afternoon snack or mixed into morning cereal. Their rich, buttery flavor pairs beautifully with apples or pears, those low-potassium fruits that complement a kidney-friendly diet. Choose hazelnuts that are uniform in color and feel heavy for their size. Avoid any with cracks or holes, those signs of insect damage. Never eat hazelnuts that taste bitter or have a strange aftertaste. Fresh hazelnuts should have a sweet, nutty flavor. Store in airtight containers in a cool, dry place. They'll maintain their quality for several months at room temperature, or up to a year if refrigerated. The biggest hazard with hazelnuts is confusing them with the heavily processed hazelnut spreads that are loaded with sugar and additives. These commercial products bear little resemblance to whole hazelnuts and offer none of the kidney cleansing benefits we've discussed. Stick with plain, unsalted hazelnuts to get the real kidney health advantages. If hazelnuts are hard to find or expensive in your area, sunflower seeds provide similar vitamin E benefits with even lower mineral content. Avoid dialysis. Top 5 common fruits to cleanse and protect your kidneys. When you're trying to protect your kidneys, the world of advice can feel overwhelming. Long lists of forbidden foods, complex diets, and the constant worry of dialysis can feel like a heavy weight. But what if some of the most powerful tools to avoid dialysis weren't found in expensive supplements or exotic remedies? What if they were hiding in plain sight, in the everyday fruits you walk past at the grocery store? In this video, we're revealing the top 5 fruits that can help cleanse and protect your kidneys. We'll count them down from great to truly game-changing, and you'll want to watch until the very end. Because not only will we unveil the undisputed #1 kidney defender, but we'll also show you the single biggest mistake that can completely erase its benefits. But before we count down these kidney defenders, tell us in the comments, what's one fruit you eat regularly for your health? Every insight is a source of inspiration for this entire community, and we are reading every single one. Important note, these suggestions vary depending on your kidney function stage. If you have stage 4 to 5 chronic kidney disease or are on dialysis, please work closely with your renal dietitian, as portion sizes and food choices may need significant modification. 5. Sour cherries. Imagine a fruit so remarkable it could stand toe-to-toe with a prescription drug in a clinical trial. It sounds like science fiction, but for one of nature's most overlooked heroes, the sour cherry, it's a scientific reality. And that's just the beginning of its story. For anyone caught in the vicious cycle where pain steals your sleep and sleeplessness then magnifies your pain, this is the discovery you've been waiting for. The sour cherry breaks this cycle with a brilliant 2-pronged approach. First, its unique anthocyanins act like your body's own rapid response team, dialing down the inflammatory signals that scream in your joints. Then, as night falls, it helps rebuild your foundation of rest, providing natural melatonin to guide your sleep cycle, while also supplying tryptophan, the very building block your body uses to create its own. And science confirms this dual action with stunning clarity. On the pain front, a 2012 study published in Arthritis and Rheumatism included 633 people with gout. Eating cherries in the 2 days before a gout attack was linked to a 35% lower risk of attacks compared to no cherry intake. Since gout is directly linked to how well your kidneys process uric acid, a waste product, this suggests that cherries may help your kidneys cleanse excess uric acid more effectively. On the sleep front, a 2018 pilot study found that 8 seniors with chronic insomnia gained an impressive 84 minutes of extra sleep per night when consuming about 240 milliliters tart cherry juice twice daily. This enhanced sleep quality is crucial for your kidneys' overnight cleanse and repair processes. That's nearly an hour and a half of extra restorative sleep, night after night. So, how do you harness this natural pharmacy for yourself? Here's the crucial part. You need to choose sour cherries, like the Montmorency variety, not the sweet ones you typically find fresh. Their distinct tartness is the sign of their therapeutic potency. Purchase frozen Montmorency cherries year-round. They're more affordable and retain full potency. Blend 1/2 cup frozen cherries into a morning smoothie. Store fresh sour cherries in the refrigerator for up to 1 week or freeze in portion-controlled 1/2 cup containers. Avoid cherry supplements if you're on blood thinners, as they may enhance anticoagulant effects. And a word of warning, steer clear of sugary traps like canned pie filling or bright red maraschino cherries. Those are a recipe for inflammation, not relief. Sour cherries contain moderate potassium, about 160 milligrams per half cup serving, requiring portion control for advanced CKD. 4. Cranberries. For decades, the cranberry has been the go-to natural remedy for urinary tract health. But what if this famous friend of the bladder was secretly a potential enemy of the kidneys? This is the cranberry paradox, a crucial truth that separates savvy health choices from a dangerous oversight. The cranberry's dual nature comes from 2 completely different mechanisms. For the bladder, its proanthocyanidins, or PACs, create a microscopic, non-stick shield on the bladder walls, making it impossible for bacteria to gain a foothold. It's a brilliant physical defense. And this isn't just theory. A massive 2023 Cochrane database review drew a quite clear map. The review found that cranberry products significantly reduced UTI risk by 26% in women with recurrent infections, 54% in children, and 53% in people undergoing medical procedures. Yet this juice showed no benefit for elderly residents in care homes or pregnant women. However, note that concentrated cranberry products are high in oxalates, compounds that can crystallize in the urine, potentially forming painful kidney stones, particularly in those with a history of them. Still, research on cranberry's effect on kidney stones is mixed, with some studies even suggesting it may reduce the risk. So, how do you navigate this paradox safely? It comes down to a simple 2-question checklist. First, do you have a personal or family history of kidney stones? If the answer is yes, the risk likely outweighs the benefit. Second, are you a woman battling recurrent UTIs? If yes, cranberry could be a valuable part of your strategy. For this group, a small portion of dried cranberries, about 1/3 of a cup, is a kidney-friendly option. Cranberries are low in potassium, about 45 milligrams per 1/3 cup, and contain almost no sodium or phosphorus. Just be sure to avoid the sugary cocktail juices that can totally burden your kidney cleanse efforts. Mix 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries into unsweetened Greek yogurt for a protein-rich snack. If choosing fresh cranberries, rinse thoroughly and store in the refrigerator for up to 2 months. For homemade cranberry sauce, use stevia or monk fruit instead of sugar. Also, always space cranberry consumption away from medications to prevent potential interactions. 3. Pineapples. Remember that tingling, almost spicy sensation you get from fresh pineapple? Many people think it's just the fruit's acidity, but in reality, that tingle is the sign of a high-performance enzymatic engine firing up on your tongue. It's the calling card of bromelain, nature's digestive aid and anti-inflammatory agent, hard at work. Pineapple's gift to your kidneys is indirect but strategic. Its core enzyme, bromelain, works as a systemic agent throughout your body. Chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, is fundamentally a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. By helping to turn down the volume on this body-wide static, bromelain reduces the collateral damage and eases the constant burden on your kidneys, giving them a healthier environment to function in. And while this has been known for years, exciting new research is revealing just how sophisticated pineapple's action can be. A pilot study conducted on CKD patients found that bromelain can significantly increase levels of a protective molecule called sRAGE. This molecule acts like a molecular mop, soaking up and neutralizing harmful inflammatory messengers linked to kidney disease complications. Now, if you want to reduce the workload on your kidneys, think of pineapple not just as a fruit, but as a natural alternative. Instead of an over-the-counter digestive aid after a heavy meal, try a half cup of fresh pineapple. But be strategic. Always avoid the sugary syrup in canned versions, and be mindful that processed forms like canned, dried, or juiced pineapple can carry a high oxalate load, a risk for kidney stones. For your body, fresh is the only form that delivers the reward without the risk. Also, fresh pineapple delivers the strongest kidney cleanse support through active bromelain enzymes. Cut into half-cup portions immediately after purchase. Bromelain activity decreases rapidly once exposed to air. Store cut pineapple in glass containers, not metal, to preserve bromelain potency. However, if you're taking blood thinners or have stomach ulcers, avoid pineapple as bromelain may increase bleeding risk or gastric irritation. Also, fresh pineapple contains significant potassium, about 180 milligrams per half-cup serving. Those on potassium restrictions should consult their doctor to limit portions and monitor blood levels. 2. Apples. We've all heard the famous saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." A 2015 study even suggests that apple eaters may use fewer prescription medications. In fact, apples offer manageable potassium, about 195 milligrams per medium apple, with minimal sodium, phosphorus, and oxalates, making it undoubtedly kidney-friendly. But what if we told you that the apple's true genius isn't about preventing a checkup? Yes, it's about building a deep, foundational defense against the major chronic diseases of aging. This foundational defense is like tending to your body's inner garden. First, apples help balance the soil by neutralizing excess acid, easing the strain on your kidneys. Second, and perhaps more importantly, the unique pectin fiber in apples acts as the premium fertilizer for your gut microbiome. By nourishing the trillions of beneficial plants inside you, you're not just improving digestion. You're cultivating a resilient inner ecosystem that supports your entire body. Just how significant is this effect? A 2021 study revealed something remarkable. For patients with kidney disease, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables like apples was just as effective at neutralizing harmful acid as a standard prescription medication, sodium bicarbonate. Let that sink in. A simple, everyday food demonstrated the therapeutic impact of a prescribed medicine without the added sodium. This can give your kidneys a true cleanse from the toxic, acidic environment that destroys them over time. So, what's the single most important rule to unlock the full potential of this humble hero? It's simple. Never peel your apple. The skin is where a huge portion of its gut-friendly fiber and the antioxidant quercetin is concentrated. Peeling an apple isn't just removing the wrapping, it's throwing away the very heart of its power. Choose organic varieties when possible. The skin concentrates both nutrients and potential pesticides. Wash thoroughly under running water and scrub with a vegetable brush. Slice apples just before eating to prevent oxidation and nutrient loss. For convenient portions, pre-wash and core apples, storing in airtight containers with lemon juice to prevent browning. Avoid apple juice. It lacks fiber and concentrates sugars that can stress kidneys rather than support natural cleanse processes. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 1. Blueberries. For those in the final stages of kidney disease, it's a common and heartbreaking belief that the window for simple nutritional interventions has closed. But a landmark 2022 meta-analysis, looking specifically at dialysis patients, has opened a new door of possibility, powered by the humble blueberry. This study examined 8 high-quality clinical trials involving 715 dialysis patients. Even when their kidneys had completely failed, blueberries' powerful blue pigments, called anthocyanins, still delivered measurable improvements across 3 critical pathways. First, anthocyanins act as cellular bodyguards, significantly reducing oxidative stress. The rust that accumulates when your kidneys can no longer effectively cleanse toxins from your blood. Second, they function as natural anti-inflammatory agents, cooling down the chronic inflammation that accelerates kidney destruction and cardiovascular complications. Finally, they work as lipid optimizers, significantly boosting HDL good cholesterol levels, which is crucial since heart disease is the leading cause of death in patients with CKD. What makes blueberries particularly valuable for kidney patients is their exceptional safety profile. Unlike many fruits that can be problematic for those with CKD, blueberries are naturally low in all the minerals that burden damaged kidneys, just 40 milligrams of potassium per half-cup portion compared to 180 milligrams in pineapple, minimal phosphorus, virtually no sodium, and low oxalate content. Bringing this kidney-friendly fruit into your own life is surprisingly straightforward. To make it easier and more affordable year-round, don't hesitate to use frozen blueberries. They retain their nutritional value. Wild blueberries are often more nutrient-dense than fresh, cultivated varieties. Just be cautious with processed blueberry products like muffins and pies, which are often loaded with sugar and unhealthy fats. Store fresh blueberries unwashed in the refrigerator for up to 10 days. Wash just before eating to prevent mold. Create portion-controlled half-cup servings in small containers for grab-and-go snacks. To maximize the benefits, add frozen blueberries directly to smoothies or oatmeal. Mix fresh blueberries into plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese for protein-enhanced kidney cleanse support throughout your day. Avoid dialysis. Top 4 bedtime drinks to cleanse and protect your kidneys. You have a 10-year window. That's how long kidney disease typically takes to progress from barely noticeable to life-threatening. And most people waste 8 of those years because they don't know the decline has started. In fact, kidneys can lose up to 90% of their function before you feel anything wrong. This is especially the case for many adults over 60 who don't even know their function is dropping. What if I told you that those 8 to 10 hours you're asleep could be either the time your kidneys are cleansing and healing themselves, or the time they're dying faster? We've spent days reviewing over 50 clinical studies and discovered 4 science-backed bedtime drinks that can help protect and cleanse your kidneys while you sleep. You'll want to stay until the very end because here's a critical timing secret that makes the difference between kidney protection and kidney damage. Before we dive in, we're curious. What's your current go-to bedtime drink? A warm cup of tea that's probably gone cold by the time you remember it? A glass of milk that makes you wonder if you'll be up all night? Maybe just plain water while you try to remember if you've had enough today? Share your honest answer in the comments. We read every single one. 4. Olive leaf tea. First, let's encounter perhaps the most sophisticated and most potent option on our list: olive leaf tea. The power behind olive leaf tea comes from an antioxidant called oleuropein, along with its metabolite hydroxytyrosol. But here's what makes this relevant for kidney health. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure. and olive leaf extract has been shown to be so effective in reducing blood pressure. A comprehensive 2022 meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials found that olive leaf extract lowered the top blood pressure number by an average of 3.86 points, with even better results, nearly 5 points, in people who already had high blood pressure. Every point reduced in blood pressure translates to kidney protection, because high blood pressure essentially forces your kidney filters to work under constant pressure, like trying to do delicate work while someone's shaking your table. But here's where olive leaf tea reveals its double-edged nature, and why we call it sophisticated. The same compounds that make it effective also make it potentially harmful if you're already taking certain medications. If you're taking ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or any blood pressure medication, olive leaf tea could cause significant drops in blood pressure. It's important to consult with your doctor before trying it. Beyond blood pressure benefits, olive leaf compounds appear to offer direct kidney protection at the cellular level. Animal studies have shown that oleuropein can significantly reduce markers of kidney damage, including elevated BUN and creatinine levels, the markers doctors use to assess your kidney function. In laboratory models of kidney injury, oleuropein reduced inflammation within kidney tissues, decreased the infiltration of immune cells that cause scarring, and even helped prevent the formation of scar tissue that can permanently damage kidney filters. While these studies haven't been replicated in humans yet, the mechanism is compelling. For those who can safely use it, preparation is straightforward but requires attention to quality. Use about 1 teaspoon of dried organic olive leaves per cup of hot water, steeping for 5 to 10 minutes. Start with shorter steeping times, as the tea can become quite bitter. The resulting tea will have an earthy, slightly bitter taste reminiscent of green olives. Strain carefully and drink while comfortably warm. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 3. Warm, unsweetened oat milk. Unsweetened oat milk. Before you think, that sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry, hear me out. This humble beverage is actually a sleep-building architect. The magic happens through a compound called tryptophan, the amino acid found in milk that's been helping people sleep for generations. But here's what makes oat milk special. It doesn't just dump tryptophan into your system and hope for the best. The complex carbohydrates in oats act like a skilled escort service, helping tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier where it can do its sleep-promoting work. Once tryptophan reaches your brain, it undergoes a transformation. First, it becomes serotonin, often called the feel-good neurotransmitter that helps you feel calm and content. Then, as night deepens, that serotonin converts into melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. It's like having your own internal pharmaceutical factory. For your kidneys, this process offers indirect but important protection. Quality sleep is when your body performs its most crucial cleansing and repair work, including maintenance on those hardworking kidney filters. Poor sleep actually increases inflammation throughout your body, and chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of kidney disease progression. Deep restorative sleep allows your kidneys to focus on their essential detoxification work, filtering waste and toxins more efficiently. Beyond sleep support, oat milk delivers another kidney protective compound that deserves attention: beta-glucan. This soluble fiber acts like a gentle cleanup crew in your bloodstream, actively reducing LDL cholesterol, the bad kind that can damage blood vessels throughout your body, including the tiny vessels in your kidneys. A comprehensive meta-analysis found that just 3 grams of beta-glucan daily, roughly what you'd get in a large glass of oat milk, significantly reduces LDL cholesterol. Since cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in people with kidney problems, protecting your heart directly protects your kidneys. The complex carbohydrates in oatmeal also provide steady energy without the rapid blood sugar spikes that can stress kidney function over time. This is particularly important for people managing diabetes alongside kidney concerns. But here's where we need to have an honest conversation about oat milk's contradictions. While oats themselves are kidney-friendly, the commercial processing can create some unexpected challenges. Many store-bought oat milks contain additives like dipotassium phosphate, the ingredients that can be problematic for people with kidney concerns. The body absorbs nearly 100% of these added phosphates, compared to only about 50% from natural sources. Pour 1 cup of unsweetened oat milk into a small saucepan and heat gently over medium-low heat until warm but not boiling. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes. Alternatively, microwave for 60 to 90 seconds, stirring halfway through. For the best results, choose unsweetened varieties with the shortest ingredient list possible. Better yet, consider making your own. It's surprisingly simple and gives you complete control over what goes in. Blend 1 cup rolled oats with 4 cups of water for 30 seconds, then strain through cheesecloth. Add a pinch of cinnamon or vanilla extract for extra flavor and antioxidants. Drink this golden, creamy comfort about an hour before your intended bedtime. This allows enough time for the tryptophan pathway to begin working its magic. However, if you have celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, be extra cautious. Most oats are cross-contaminated with gluten during processing, even if they're labeled naturally gluten-free. Look specifically for certified gluten-free oat milk to avoid triggering inflammatory responses that could indirectly stress your kidneys. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this.